So today we are making a zine, and if you don't know what a zine is, it's just like a little booklet about whatever you want it to be about. You can do whatever you want with a zine. And there's so many different formats. I've been enchanted by the concept of zines, so this is me trying my hand at it. I've made a few. I was introduced to zines by the Sequential Artists Workshop year-long program. It was a program designed to teach you how to make comics. And I got a scholarship. I applied to get a scholarship, and they gave it to me. And that's where I found out that zines existed, and ever since then I've wanted to make like a million of them, but I've only made a few. So yeah, there's a lot in there in that course, but hands down, the best part about the Sequential Artists Workshop year-long program were the people I was in the course with. And I still talk to some of them today, so it's awesome. But the Sequential Artist Workshop, or SAW, as it's also often referred to, that's the acronym for it, SAW. I was introduced to so many amazing people, and I'll forever be grateful for the opportunity they afforded me by extending me that scholarship. But more about the zine I made here and how I made it. I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to cut the seam instead of scissors, just because I always seem to miss a little bit when I use scissors. Mess it up a little bit, which is irritating. So an X-Acto knife and a ruler helps me get that cut exactly where it needs to be without trimming too far on either side. And the illustrations in this scene, what I did was I redrew Pamela Coleman Smith's entire tarot deck. I made a tarot deck, of which there's only one copy in the world, because I sent it off to a printer and made exactly one copy. So that's cool. That's cool for me. But I redrew every single card as a continuous line drawing. And a continuous line drawing is where every mark is connected. Every single... You don't ever start a new line. It's all connected. So I took that tarot deck, all the illustrations for the tarot deck I made. I did it with a pencil and paper, obviously. And I scanned them in, and then I digitally cleaned them up and extracted the line art and then reformatted it for cards. So I just took the extracted line art and shrunk it down, and then I formatted it to fit the mini zine format. You never realize how much noise happens in your house until you try to record. I swear to God. There's so much noise all the time. But anyway. So how I got all these little slips of paper was I think I'll show you. Well, that's not I think. I know. I will show you how I did it. But it's actually recycled books, cut out pages, and then I would cut out all the words or phrases that caught my eye. And that's how I got those. And I think some of it might be from mail as well. And then for the title, I just printed out that title, and I think for the title, I just printed that out because I couldn't find the word continuous or tarot in a book that I was recycling in this way. And I know that's to the shock and horror of some, but I'm breathing new life into the book. I was never going to read it again, so I picked up this dictionary for free at the library. They put it in a donation bin. They were like, free books or something like that. And I really wanted, for every other card, I just wanted to go through the little slips of paper and see what came to me. I just wanted to see what fit together, what was speaking to me, just based on vibes. But I really wanted a yourself for the Hermit. And I couldn't find one, although I'm sure I had one in that pile. I just couldn't find it. So I got out this dictionary and cut it out from there. And this process is how I got all those words. So this is my first full-length video with a voiceover. I'm just testing the waters. I'm just seeing if I like it, if it's fun. I think it is. I think it is fun. It's the editing that I didn't realize would take so long. Like, first you gotta do it. You gotta record it. And then you gotta edit the voiceover and you got to edit the video. And I took out a lot of footage from this that I recorded. Like, I didn't use most of the footage I recorded because it's literally just me, like, looking through little pieces of paper, and that would be direly boring if you had to watch the full process. I think it took me, like, 2 hours or something to decide on each, which sounds... It's a fairly simple little zine, so it's kind of amazing that it took me 2 hours, but the time will pass anyway, right? But I also underestimated how much of voiceover recording, for me at least, is just me, like, blankly staring at the microphone, not saying anything, because normally I have no trouble talking, saying whatever. But recording is different, and I didn't account for that. It's just, you don't want to be boring. And it's not like Blue's Clues where you guys can, like, respond to me. Well, they're not actually like, Steve can't hear us. But, you know, it felt like he could. In the process of, like, editing and all that, I've rewatched it so many times that it has lost all meaning to me. I cannot tell if it is an interesting video or if it's, you know, has any value. I can't tell anymore. I don't know. And also I wanted to put Stardew Valley music in here because I heard that Mr. Concerned Ape is fine with people using his music for, well, specifically the Stardew Valley music for their videos, but I didn't want it to get taken down, and I wasn't sure. So I think it even says on Bandcamp or SoundCloud, I can't remember which one, but one of those, he has his entire Stardew album up for download for free and has all the music, and I have it, and I was going to put some of that music in here, but just in case, I'm so sorry, no music. Just imagine that you can hear Penny's theme or one of the fall or winter themes, and it's playing lightly in the background, and it's beautiful. Isn't this nice? Yay, music. But yeah, so it's just me and then the sounds of paper, really. This is what I got right now. Oh, I cannot believe I forgot to mention it until just now. This is available for free to download on Ko-fi or Ko-fi or however you say it. Just look up, I don't think I can link to external sites right now, but if you look up my username plus Ko-fi or Ko-fi or however you say it, in your search engine, just click on that, and then it's in my shop, but it's free. You can put a 0 in what you want to pay. And then you'll have access to 3 different files. It's 2 different screen versions. One is on like a off-white cream colored background. Another one's just on a white background. And then the printable version, which is just black on white. So you can print it on whatever color paper you want. And it'll be available to you. After you check out. You're not actually checking out. Well, you are actually checking out, but you don't have to pay anything. But I have a few questions for you. Do you make zines? Who are your favorite comic artists? Because not obviously, you don't know me, but I'm very interested in comics. Who are your favorite zine makers, if you have any? And have you ever tried to make a zine? Those are my questions. And I'd love to see your zines if you make them, because my favorite kind of zines are the mini zines, just because I love how simple they are to distribute. You just print them out. You don't have to think about, do you flip it on the short edge or the long edge or anything like that. You can go to your library and print them out. It's so simple. You don't have to be technologically advanced to print out a mini zine. You just have to know how to print it and then fold it. Or you just need to know how to hit the print button, really, and then how to fold it. And there's so many tutorials online on how to fold it. I showed you me folding it. I didn't explain any of the steps because I think the other tutorials that you can find out there on the line are going to put it more simply than I would. But this wasn't quite collaging. This is just gluing things down, really. But gluing things down is like a new medium for me. I've never really been into collaging or junk journaling or anything. That's something I started just at the end of last year. I got some glue sticks from the grocery store and I just started going to town gluing things. So now I have a shoebox full of random little bits of paper and sometimes even cardboard that I, took the backing off of so that I can glue it down. And so that's been super exciting. Just this whole new world opened up to me of gluing things down. I usually do watercolor. I have amassed quite a collection of different kinds of watercolor and with different pigments and different brands and whatnot. And I even have some from a small, it's called Poems About You. The watercolor. I don't know why I'm talking about watercolor right now. But I want to talk about watercolor right now. So I shall. And it smells like spices. It smells like clove and cinnamon. Or maybe just clove. I think there's a hint of cinnamon. And it smells so good. And every time I open it up, I'm like, ooh, this smells so good. But it's like opaquer than a lot of watercolors that I have. So I don't use it as much because I want sort of that translucent-y look. But I really like them. Maybe that'll be my next video. Just to look at all of my watercolors. But then I don't know how to set up all of my supplies and a camera, it's really my phone, and a microphone. I don't know how to set all that up. So that might be it's voiceovers for now. If I ever do this again, I don't even know if I'll do it again. Because I'm having fun doing it, but it is a lot of time. It is a lot to do. And I don't even know. If I get the urge to do it again, I'll do it again. But, I want it to be fun. I want to have fun doing this. So I'm not going to force myself to do it. I will only do it if it is fun. And I don't know if I said this, but that's something else. I think everybody is creative, but some people are creative in the ways they show creativity. They might not necessarily be doing art or writing or making music or something like that. They might be doing it differently. But I believe everybody is creative in some way. I think it's like an inherent part of the human nature. So I hear people say all the time, oh, I'm not creative. I don't believe you, and I'm so sorry that you believe it. I think everybody is creative. There's going to be so many just weird jumps in this, aren't there? Just because my brain goes everywhere all the time. So I don't even know if I'm going to be able to form this into something cohesive. I've kind of had the video playing in the background, just watching it while I talk, but then I realized that I'm not even really referencing it while I talk. I'm just sort of it's just sort of on. And now I'm ooh, how are these going to work together? I don't know how the big YouTubers do it. I honestly don't. Well, a lot of practice. Everything takes practice. And I am not practiced at this yet, for sure. I have more plans. I have a lot more footage recorded. I just haven't edited any of it together. And at this point, I don't know if I will. I might just make new footage. Might just delete it and get the space back. I've painted Professor Layton and what else did I do? I think I showed off some. Oh, I wrote down my responses. I didn't record anything for it, but I wrote down my responses to that tag that was going around the tarot sphere on YouTube, the Hermit's Cave Tarot A to Z prompts. I wrote down my responses to that, but I haven't recorded anything for it. I haven't recorded any. I didn't read it out and record that, and I didn't really do anything but write down my responses, and that might just stay in my notebook forever. I don't know. And then I also want to do book reviews, but what I don't have, what nobody has, is unlimited time. Taking the video making for a test drive, the trying out voiceover for the first time. Lots of firsts for me in this video. This is my first earnest attempt at making a YouTube video. Like a proper full-length one with like a voiceover and editing. What a novel thing. And I have so much to say, and my loved ones do not need to be subjected to my near constant talking. So then I started journaling. And then I decided that's not enough, and now I shall talk on the internet. But maybe this is a one-off thing. Maybe I do not talk on the internet again. But I have a lot of interests. Like everybody, I think. And I don't want to make videos about one thing. I notice that a lot of people usually find like one sort of point of interest, and then they talk about that. Like they all have an angle, and that's what they talk about. But I don't really want to only talk about art or tarot or zines or like I like a lot of things, so I don't want to just limit myself to just one thing. So if I make another video, it might just be something completely else. My favorite videos usually have some sort of aspect of creative process to them. So that's probably mostly what I'll make, if I make more. Just because I think that's always fun to see. Just like, ooh, there was nothing and now there's something. That's always fun. I probably wouldn't... I'm big into journaling, but I don't really think that would be interesting to record because it's usually just words and that would be boring. But I might make some videos of me like gluing things down or drawing or whatever. I have some short videos of me painting up right now, so you can look at those to see if you like my art. But my favorite kind of videos are the ones where they like sort of talk and make something. So that's probably mostly what I'll do. Talking and making something. Maybe I'll even figure out how to do both at the same time. I don't know if I could get into the flow doing both at the same time, but you never know until you try. This has been fun. I hope you had fun. And now let's read the finished zine. So, Continuous Tarot. She could because she looked satisfied for the first time for the 9 of coins. Face to face in the darkness with yourself for the Hermit. Finally got away to something better for the Ace of Swords. I'll assume I'm sure of it for the King of Swords. Forcefully succeeds for the Magician, and going to risk something stupid now for the Knight of Wands. And together for the 3 of Cups. And then just tucked amongst the pages was extraordinary talent, which I thought was fun. So, thanks for watching. Bye.